Well, this is going to be a completely different update for everybody. Welcome back to the old Polara 500. She's sitting on the trailer because she's almost ready to get something installed that's kind of just kind of sucks since the day we got this thing, and that is the lack of a windshield. The amount of early B bodies that have come up for sale and that I've seen and that I bought and have worked on, it's incredible how many of them don't have a windshield or it's broken. So we're going to solve it with this one first off, with getting a new windshield. So I went ahead and got some NOS little windshield tabbies, reinstalled all those. Remember, this is the cowl that did not exist beforehand. I'm kind of nervous about these clips working because this is not the same kind of trough that's over here in the factory area. It's considerably shallower. So I'm hoping clips work there. But all new clips for us there. I know everybody always says to install twice as many, but I don't really see a reason. And it was enough of a fight having to remove all the originals and then getting these ones in. So hopefully next time we all tune in this car, we'll have a dadgum windshield, and that would be just a hell of a nice thing in my opinion. Really, it would. So here's to hopefully last time we see her as this kind of ugly ass project. One more white 64 Dodge that we bought for parts, and it's just not going to get built at this point. I just got no interest in building another one after doing the red car, and so I'm gonna probably go ahead and have them have Young Auto Glass do the 55 and also have him do the white 64 out back, just because he was that reasonable on a price, at least for the red car. And having a windshield in this thing will just help the buyer in the future, in my opinion. It's a small investment on my behalf. It'll help save whatever's left of the freaking dash and the floor pan, because like all early B bodies, not only is the windshield busted, but it has no freaking floors. And well, at least this one's on, you know, gravel now instead of sitting in the weeds. But having a windshield will help keep it from rotting out anymore. So it's good to have a good glass guy. Jeremy at Young Auto Glass, thank you, man. Thank you. So I have rambled enough. I've explained everything. I think it's time. Let's go get that old red car and finally make some freaking progress on it. Alrighty, so starting to film now, Dad. So, well, you can keep singing. I ain't gonna tell you can't sing. Material. You ever get a song stuck in your head? And yeah. So the plan here now is, since the Polara is back, and I was actually going to go out there and film a time lapse, but I basically said screw this, because my grandpa was over and he was like, Jed, don't you know it's raining? And I was like, yeah. But, you know, just because I said, yeah, I know it's raining, didn't really mean that I understood that I was getting that wet and that cold that fast. So the trim is going to stay off for now. And we have a nice heated shop in here, actually. So the plan is to basically go ahead and get the 400, which is a steel crank 400 we got here. This was kind of ugly when we got it from our good buddy Kirk. And did a bunch of work to clean it up, got the right oil pan on it. It has the incorrect motor mounts, but those are the correct motor mounts to adapt it to our run stand, the one we're going to use. And we're going to put this guy on the yellow run stand that we built for the Steve Rouse 440 and transmission. And the whole thing is we're going to basically attach the flywheel, the clutch, all that on the back of this, and basically make it all functional. Get the shifter probably hooked up to the transmission at some point, have it all on there, and on that stand with some big old casters, which that's one thing we need to go do, is get the casters. And that way we can have this whole drivetrain on a stand, runnable. We can make sure everything's going to leak that we want to leak, and the leaks that we're comfortable with at least, and then the ones that we aren't comfortable with we can address, because I'm sure the amount of paint I put on the 4-speed is not going to keep it from leaking like a sieve. But you know, at least it'll be on the stand, because the plan is to basically get the red Polara, well, how best to say it, basically have all the brakes and electrical and everything kind of figured out already in the car, so that way when we stab a drivetrain, we ain't having to worry about fixing a brake line on the firewall or yada yada yada. Yeah, and since it's cold and rainy out now, it's the perfect time to go ahead and do this. So we're going to set you up on the hyperlapse, since our good buddy Jeremy, who put the front glass in the Polara for us, was talking about how much he enjoyed doing that himself, hyperlapsing. It's like, you know what? It's been a while since we've done a good hyperlapse session. It's also been a while since we've filmed just a good old home movie. So thank you for coming along, folks. Let's get into working on this 400. Well, it's all torqued down. That'd be a good time to get the paint marker out. Now that I'm on camera, I can think out loud. Mark all those flywheel bolts, that way they don't, you know, ain't moving around. I'll never check that, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's kind of professional. So, yeah. So, get that out. Bell housing on. We need to put all the little bracketry inside of there real fast. But, one step closer to everything being on there. And I ain't ever have to worry about my flywheel rusting from this side. Just from this side. Alright, so that's going to be about it for the old hyperlapse. I have misplaced my fork boot there. Could have swore I had it in that box. I know there was a boot on this bell housing before I cleaned it, and I know it was in good shape. I just don't know what happened to it. There's one on that bell housing over there near that narrow Dana, but that's not the correct one. That's also all rotten. So before we go and put our throw-up bearing and our reconditioned guy here on there, we're going to see if we can figure out what happened to that boot, because, well, we just want to make it right, and well, I kind of feel dumb for losing that. And literally seconds after filming that, Dad found it in one of the other bell housings that I forgot we had. So we're going to clean this guy up, and we'll keep putting her together. Good job, Dad. Okay. Well, it ain't perfect, but it's still pliable. It ain't got holes in it, and it'll seal. Alright, so before we can go any further with the old 400 and 4-speed setup, we'll follow Dad so we can go to the barn. Oh yeah, there's our little yellow stand. That's what we're going to be mounting everything to. Kind of simple, that's all it needs to be. So That's a good looking rig. Every once in a while, I need to come out here and remind yourself why you're suffering and trying to figure out where you hid everything from yourself. And it's kind of worth it, kind of. All right, so let's get the 4-speed uncovered. All right. Oh yeah, and 2 A-body 4-speeds picked up. All right, so here's the Polara's original transmission, which, by the way, that bell housing and everything is all the original equipment. And so yeah, it's kind of cool to be able to put all this stuff together. So this guy's been painted for a long time, degreased it, did my best to make it look as nice as possible. And so now we're gonna bring it in, we're gonna marry it up to that engine, so that way they can finally, eventually at some point, all enter into the car again and stay there. All right, well, we got the 4-speed moved in here. Sitting pretty good right there. We're almost at the right height, so Dad's gonna run a tap through all them little holes, put this on there. Hopefully that little stool will help take some of the load, and then we can move this giant menagerie, which I want a walkway here. I don't know if we really thought this one through too good. We might have to assemble the whole thing on the yellow stand and then get the casters so that way we can wheel the whole unit through this little trough, because for some reason, no matter what our garage space is, there always winds up being a neck point. Get that slid in there and everything's got to go flawlessly and easy, right, Dad?
Right on in.
It's not going to fight us at all.
Oh, no.
In fact, I'm so blindly confident, I'm not even going to hyperlapse it. We're just going to play it at normal speed and...
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. Yep. This is going to suck.
You ever put a 13-speed in the back of a big diesel engine? Yeah. I'm hoping this is smaller and go right in.
It can't be that bad. Well, that's what the input shaft should look like. This is the transmission that came out of it. Considerably shorter. Stupid rednecks. Not saying Kirk, 'cause I know Kirk didn't do it. Stupid rednecks who don't do shit the right way. It's got an internally balanced steel crank. It's 400. But why the crank isn't fully drilled or whatever's going on, it is just... everything was going really easy. But, now you see right about here, I think it's about where we got to cut off or so. I really don't want to do that.
That's what we tightened up. As the crank got tight and the crank wouldn't even turn, so we had to be up against the crank.
Yeah, we still had basically the width of the bearing retainer, which I agree with Dad, it's kind of odd, it's getting stuck on there. Maybe my paint's a little thick, but yeah, we still had a decent gap there in the bolts, so, and we rammed it in until we couldn't turn those bolts anymore, and then the crank wouldn't turn, so it tells you it's bottoming out. So the answer from here to me is pretty simple. It's just I don't want to do it. Or it's put this 69 B&E body ugly basket case in there, which
Measure that shaft with this shaft.
Yeah.
And see how much.
I know if I was super cool, I could just rip this A833 apart, rip that guy out, and the gear ratios are all different, I know, but yeah, I could just be Mr. Super Cool. Or I could be Mr. Even Cooler and put an overdrive in here, but you know, I just wanted to put the car back together the way it's supposed to be. With his original transmission, one of the few pieces that's original to it, like that bell housing. Alright, I'm done ranting. I'm tired. And we're exhausting.
gonna pick that up.
Oh, it's all in the adventure, as you say, Dad. Yeah, we'll go ahead and measure all that crap. Yeah, just want to show everybody. Remember when we started filming this video, it was light out. Now it is not. So, doesn't matter how prepared you get for something. It doesn't matter. There's always gonna be something that shows up and just kicks you in the nads. Oop. Just like all the lights going out. But you know what? It's what you do and how you react when the world kicks you in the nads. You can sit there, you can have your pity party, in my opinion, and then you gotta get up, wipe the tears away, and get your butt back into gear, because it's the only way things are gonna get done. Tomorrow, that is. And you someday. All right, well, it's the next day. Dad has got the A833 up on a tranny jack, which is a lot better because now we can sit on the stool. And Dad had this idea on trying to figure out how deep our crank is actually drilled in, so made a little test jig there. Dad, you want to explain your little rig?
Piece of 1/4 inch all thread and laid a straight edge across the back of the bell housing, right where the transmission got made up, and I ran this clear into the very bottom of the hole, and I screwed my nut back here till it mated with my straight edge. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's as deep as we can be on this input shaft. If you take this, and we're looking at the back of that nut, made it to this transmission. You can kind of see that that's about what we got to take off of this one. This is that much too long.
Okay, so we really don't have to remove that much from this one because, I mean, visually you can come over to this one and, yeah, this guy's been chopped off a lot.
I can do the same thing over here. Watch this.
Watching.
See, here's the back of my nut. They cut that much off too much.
Yeah, I'll be getting a new input shaft for that transmission. That guy's too valuable to leave like that. However, no one should really care, even though this is the original transmission to the Polara. Nobody values these ball and trunnion units, even though they're technically actually a little bit stronger because they have a rear bearing here that the regular ones do not have. Yeah, I got a couple extra of these. I bought these pretty cheap. Well, my extra one. So we're just gonna circumcise this dude, and it should fit, right, dude?
I think it should. If we take that whole,
Just
that ain't doing anything. That's just like a liner upper. Here's where the bushing rides.
Yeah, you can see that step there.
Yeah, so if we take it off right at that step and maybe put a little bit of radius on that, it ought to be just like a regular transmission.
Cool. So that's the goal on that. And of course, yes, last night we had to peel out so we could make it to Harbor Freight. And we decided to go with the 8-inch solid rubber casters. It's the same money for these as the big, hard blue ones that we've used before, the neoprene or whatever they're made out of. And, these will give us a little more height and hopefully something that can maybe traverse gravel. Maybe. I mean, at least it'll get over these bumps and these cracks in this floor. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go get some hardware to mount all this stuff to that stand. We'll get that transmission input shaft chopped off. We'll get it put in there, all set up, and then we just gotta basically put it up on that stand, soak it with oil, get everything ready, glue the valley pan and the intake down, replace the distributor, hold down because it's still not painted, clean the distributor up a little bit more, and then this bad dude's ready to fire, basically. Of course, we'll probably change plug wires and, you know, other stuff like that, but all right, more work, more progress. Michael, I saw you just walk off to the left.
I backed up.
Well, Michael's over today, everybody. He just helped me. How many trips did it take you to go into town until we got the right deal?
Free trip.
But we got the right hardware now, so we're getting... Oh, you already cut that one off. Dang, that thing cuts it off way faster than the air grinder.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we just got to trim those, and then we're going to have the three-legged crazy wheel cart here. All right, Dad.
We ought to roll over the
We hope.
pretty good.
Hopefully so. I was waiting for you to slash right through the rubber.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What crazy cart around?
We have landing.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Hey, you don't complain when it don't steer when you want it to steer.
Oh God.
Oh God.
We get it. I get it.
Just like go sideways.
Oh yeah, look at that. Letting the crazy wheels do their job. Well, hopefully that still moves around that good when it's got all that weight sitting on there.
You need some 3/8 studs.
Actually, I did kind of save the other ones, so yeah, we probably should save those. Yeah. All right. Now that's in the way. What happened to all the space we had? I mean, we're going to eventually get all this space back, I think, but... Probably going to need some remaneuverings. All right. Here comes the moment. Dad, you got to circumcise that bastard.
Look, I don't have my medical card.
It's okay. Just pretend we're in a dark alley.
Oh, God. With a grinder.
With an angle grinder.
Could be worse. You could be using a torch.
Oh, God. No. That would be a lot worse.
Where's your bandsaw?
We don't have a bandsaw. Michael, this takes me back to when before we had a lathe, because Michael sat there turning that, and I sat there with the angle grinder after Dad got done circumcising the poor guy. And look at how nice that actually turned out. No sharp edges. What were you gonna say, Michael?
So we could have used the lathe. Put a drill on this end, spin that in. You could have just took your bit.
I was trying to figure out a way to maybe couple a drill on there, but oh well. We are the lathe. All right, so this is take 2. Oh, well, that went together fairly uneventful. Those mounts lined up perfectly.
That one needs to drop down in a little further.
Well, yeah, we might do a little shimmying, but it's in the front. Now we just got to make an adapter deal, because this stand was built for a short tail shaft 727, and well, everything that's going to live on it's not going to be. So, all right, more updates. What's everybody missing over there? This is one of those times where I really enjoy my job, because see, that's all my stuff, and I'm gonna go sit in my corner where it's comfortable, and right next to my guitar. Yeah, this is good. Prop my feet up on this indie-headed Big Block. We can just zoom in and watch the two elder Scots at work. The two mics.
Notice your Milwaukee pen?
You're kiping it, just like William's knife. Or wait, Anna stole the knife. Anything Milwaukee branded is not safe. We'll be back more later with real progress. Just hope everybody watching is having a good time as well. Alrighty. Oh yeah, all the rubber worked out pretty good back there. Ready to bring her down?
Yeah, going down.
Perfect. Michael, give it a wiggle. Ooh.
There ain't really no wiggle. It just rolls.
That's good. Those 8-inch solid rubber casters. Alright, so now we get to start, I guess, doing all the other stuff like control module, sauce everything up, actually put gaskets, where gaskets need to be, decide on manifolds or headers, and all that other hoopla. But that'll probably be for another time, because all the other hoopla. I appreciate all the help, fellers. You guys make it easy for me just to...
Sit around?
What do you mean, sit around? Someone's got to, supervise, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, wait, I've been sitting too.
All that, but I'm really happy to see all that come together. That's going to look good in that old red turd. I guess so much for having to hyperlapse that, Dad. You just took care of all that crap. That looks pretty good. That kind of almost, with that white flywheel, I'm just going to...
That white flywheel looks good in there.
I took some inspiration from, remember Jesse's 3D3 cutaway engine, the 440 he had? And they used a lot of the cream color and then blue for water, red for heat for like exhaust ports. And it's kind of my reasoning on the insanity going on there. That does look kind of cool. I guess it's just going to live right there. All right. The Polara, I mean, we still got a lot of work to do to the Polara, so we could stare at this for a while. We'll put her shifter on there. And
we'll get some headers on there. It's going to take up even more of it.
Well, we can put those giant-ass TTI 2 1/4 to 2 1/8 race headers that I got in that trade. We just go ahead and put those on there. They won't take up that much room.
I can see that.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's going to just about be it for this one. Michael, thank you for showing up and helping, as always.
Yep.
You need to come over more often, daggone it.
I know.
We need to probably come over and help you do old hookers and blow, too.
I got to make room in my garage first.
Yeah. So you're going to be doing this same little dance.
Well, mine is trying to keep wood dry. It's a little different.
Your giggle was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to talk about the wood.
Especially with Michael's giggle he's got going on over there.
Giggle and wood.
The giggling in his wood. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a heck of a time getting to work with Dad, and especially my brother. So, here soon, we'll probably get this thing running again. But as you know, it may take a few months, it may take a day, but it will get done. So, as always, I want to thank you for checking it out. As always, take care, and
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.